Okay, so we see the paper. Oh, shit. Hey guys, we are out here with Primary Arms' 1X, their GLX Prism. And I was actually waiting for this for a long time. I was more excited about this than some other optics out there. And the reason is because I already have the SLX version and I really liked it. So when I saw the GLX coming out at a pretty decent price point, not much more than you pay for the SLX, with a whole bunch of updated features, I was really excited and I really want to get my hands on one to start shooting. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to test this out on a whole bunch of different guns, all the way from a Mossberg Shockwave up to 10.5 inch 5.56 AR. Push this and see how it performs on a whole bunch of different platforms. So for those who don't know exactly what a Prism optic is or why you'd want one, imagine a scope but at 1X, right? So it is glass and it has a reticle etched into it. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it on there, but we'll get some reticle shots. So basically, even if the red dot, the illuminated feature of this optic goes out, you still have an etched reticle that you can use. And it's the ACSS horseshoe type reticle, which is pretty useful. And I've shot the SLX out to a couple hundred meters before, and it worked really well. So this is designed for what they touted as CQB kind of optic. Imagine this replacing a Eotech, and some people might say that's not better than an Eotech, but for people who have astigmatism, maybe it is, right? Because with this optic, you can get crystal clear images, whereas I know for myself, right, if I'm using an Eotech, and I love Eotechs, for close quarter stuff, it's very hard to be an Eotech. But if you have astigmatism, a red dot might not be an option. Even an Eotech cannot get very precise aiming points when things are starting to blur out if you have any eye issues. That's not an issue with the Prism type optics. So that's why I really like this for myself. I would pick this over an Eotech on my guns. Another huge thing about this 1X is that the eye relief is insane. Okay, on the SLX, when I first saw it and I was holding it out and I could still see everything out to, even out to here, like that's, if you guys pick up a red dot or anything like that, you know that that's very not common, right? Let's say that. This thing, the eye relief on the GLX is even better than the SLX. So we'll do a comparison between the two. But this is more of a highlight on the GLX right now. We'll do a comparison video then as well between the GLX and the SLX. Which one should you get? Probably the GLX. I'm just gonna say that right now. All right, so I'm gonna zero this on some of these guns and then we're gonna start shooting. We're gonna push out the distances, see how far we can get. Then we'll bring it into some close distance work and we'll see how it performs at closer distances, 10 meters and in. All right, guys, so we have it already mounted up to the 10.5 inch. It looks pretty cool the way it is. It looks like kind of like a Trijicon MRO, but let's zero it now and we'll start taking it out the distance. Hey guys, we just zeroed at 50 yards. We're now going to take it back out further. We are shooting 77 grain open tip match from Pine Hills or Pine Valley ammo. It's just a lot of ammo I bought a while ago, but pretty accurate stuff. We're gonna take it out now, start shooting, see how far we can get using this reticle. Okay, cool, 100 yards, not a problem. Let's push it back now to, I'll go like 150, 200. All right, we're now at 200 with the GLX in the 10.5 inch. Hey guys, we are right now at 300 yards with the 10.5 inch and the 1X GLX. Let's try to keep those shots going. It's gonna get harder now just because the target's hard to see and we're not magnified anymore. So, yeah, I can see the target, but it's small. That's an impact. 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 I'm just messing around with the reticle, seeing what gets better hits. All right, guys, we're at 350 now, which according to the booklet here, for a 10.5 inch 5.56, we're looking at 350 for the bottom of this reticle. So we're kind of tapped out reticle wise. We're gonna shoot here, we'll see how it goes, and then we're gonna push a little bit farther if we can. Anything is possible through Christ. Never forget that. All right, so I'm using the bottom of the reticle. I'm not holding any wind. There's no real wind right now. Okay, impact. The miss off the right side. I'm gonna hold a little bit higher. So we're using 77 grains, which it might cause it to drop a little bit more. I'll just hold it a little bit higher up. Okay. So 1 impact out of like 5 shots, not great. So the problem that we're running into is lack of magnification. What you can see with your naked eye is what you're trying to, is what you can see through this. Nothing's magnified. Even a 2x might be helpful. Again, on a 10.5 inch, this is, a home defense gun. This is a truck gun. This is something that you're not reaching out that far with. I'm just trying to push the capabilities and see what we can get out of this. 350 is seeming to be somewhat difficult. I'm gonna give it a few more shots. It's just hard to discern the outlines of that target. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so we're getting some hits there. I started holding a little bit to the right, or holding left, actually. Again, using that little chevron. It is a tiny little chevron. I'm gonna try to get some footage now through here so you can see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at that target. All right, guys, so what you're looking at is, see that small chevron? That's on the steel target right now. There's a white IPSC paper target to the left, but again, you can kind of see that the eye relief is freaking awesome, but that's what I'm seeing, right? That's what you're seeing at 350. Not ideal, right? This optic is not a long-range optic. It is designed specifically, they say, for close quarters. So at this point, I'm not really gonna push it on the 14.5 inch. I don't think we'll get much better results. Hey guys, we are now here with an unlikely contender, the Ruger PC Charger. But actually, this is a pretty fun gun, and for home defense, it's a pretty nifty package, shooting 9mm. This optic is a 1X, so home defense, those kinds of close quarter situations. It's not really that crazy to be on a gun like this. I zeroed it at 25 yards, so the tip of the chevron, 25 yards. There's nothing in the optics manual stating where to zero for 9mm. I don't think this is designed for 9mm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Primary Arms has 9mm optics. This is not one of them. But hey, we're gonna push it out and see how far we can go. We'll start at 25 and we'll just work our way out distance. I'm hoping to get like 200 yards. That'd be kind of cool. All right, starting off at 25 yards. Let's go to 50. Easy. All right, let's push back. Let's go to 75. Try to do a standing shot. Too easy. able to get hits on target, not really an issue. Pretty cool. All right, let's push back.
I'm aiming at, I got the bottom of the chevron basically at his neck at this point, because I know 9mm is going to be dropping. Let's see. Impact. All right, so I aimed it even a little bit higher. So now the chevron, bottom of the chevron is basically the top of his head. So I'm aiming off of target now. Hit. Impact. You can hear the little dings. More shots.
You basically saw it wasn't 100% hit rate. That's because, again, the top of the chevron, like, this is the chevron, this is the top of the head of the target. I'm holding like up here. So the reference points, if you miss, you don't have a reference point really. It's just kind of to see your impact, know where the reticle was positioned when you took that shot. So, all right, 200 meters or 200 yards for the 9mm. I'd say that's its limit with this optic. You don't have any more adjustability. So that's kind of cool though. I mean, this thing's like I figured 100 meter in and you're solid. 150. 200, I know where the holds are now. You could use it for that, but you know, I'd say 150 and in kind of gun. So we were just shooting it pretty far out. We're gonna shoot some closer stuff now. Got him. All right, guys, we're just gonna check out the GLX on the 10.5 inch doing up close work, right? So we are 10 meters in from this paper. Okay, we're keeping everything except for that one little guy. I was trying to shoot a little fast. No issues whatsoever getting my eyes on target, getting the target inside or my reticle on that target. Very clear glass. Again, you're seeing it's a little bit smaller. It's about 0.8 to 0.9 when I'm looking through this at that target. So it's not a perfect 1x. Could come in handy though, because you can see more of the target that way. It's interesting. There probably are pros and cons, not when you're shooting further distances, but okay. All right, guys, one cool thing I like about this is using that horseshoe. Things that are probably within 75 yards and in, you can put that horseshoe on the target and just pull the trigger. You don't need to use that middle chevron. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see that steel in the background? I'm just gonna come up quick, put the horseshoe on it and pull the trigger, right? As fast as I can come up, that horseshoe just gets right on it. I don't have to worry about, do I have a precise shot? No, it's covering that target. It'll cover pretty much an A zone. I can do the same thing here, which I am using. I'm not using that definitive small point. Closer stuff in, you use that chevron. And I've seen that it's good out until on an IPSC target or a human body, right? We're talking out to about 60, 75 yards. At that point, it'll become a little bit larger than the body, but you can just put that on up close stuff and you will get a hit, a somewhat center hit or hit on the body. All right, guys, so loading up some buckshot now. We've got some paper, we've got some steel. We'll see how the GLX does. So
We have got fresh paper right there, as you can see. Bam, right above it, we have that steel in the background. So from 5 yards here, we're gonna give it a go with on the paper with the buckshot. We should probably do like 10 and 5 yards, but we'll just do a quick kind of like ready up. Okay. One in the chamber, so we're going for the paper. Nice, okay. Tight group, he's dead. Okay, let's go for that steel. Just putting that chevron, bam, on his body. You could hear that. All I did was put that chevron right on, not the chevron, the horseshoe right on that steel. Let's move it back a little bit. So, all right, still got a few rounds of the buckshot. Now we're at about, I'd say I give about 15 yards on that paper, and we're about 30 with that steel. Yeah. All right. Again, do two quick shots, one on paper, one on steel. Okay. So let's get ready here. Okay, so we see the paper. Oh shit. Bam, 2 easy hits. Pretty cool. Do one more on the steel. Just, I'll be here. Cool coming up. Bam. So that's pretty cool. I'll try to get this through here. I'll show you what I'm seeing. Okay, so with the shotgun, I'm just putting that big horseshoe right on the A zone. Or I'm coming over here, and again, I'm putting it right on that steel target, pulling the trigger. And if you guys want to see the elimination,
All right, so we're back from the range. Gonna do a quick summary and recap of this optic and what I think about it. Just some specs real quick. They're going for $299 at Primary Arms. The SLXs are $250, I think. So $50 more. You have some new features like the push buttons on the side instead of the dial for illumination. You have half-minute adjustments instead of 1-minute adjustments compared to this SLX. So that was cool. I actually really like that. You do have a larger objective lens. I like that as well, but with that, you're gonna get some extra weight. It's 2 ounces heavier than the SLX version, so it's coming in at 9 ounces, which is right around an Eotech, as opposed to the 7 ounces for the SLX, the Gen 2. With it, you get a bunch of adjustments, different heights, so whatever you want, you can use their stuff, and it's pretty solid. The mounts are pretty solid. I wouldn't really feel the need to get something else besides the Primary Arms mount. The daylight bright is brighter than the SLX, but it does have less battery life due to that. But at the end of the day, right, it is an etched reticle, so if the battery does go out, you still have that reticle. You're not gonna lose it, unlike a red dot where the battery goes out, you have no optic. So that's really cool, and that's one of the reasons why I really like this on a home defense or like end of the world type situation. Hey, my gun, doesn't matter if I run out of batteries, I can't source them, battery's dead, doesn't matter, I can still shoot. That's just me. They also come in red and green. I prefer the red color. That's just me as well. And overall, I think this is an awesome package for a CQB type weapon, right? So think short barreled, your home defense gun. Great for a home defense setup. You're shooting 200 meters, 200 yards and in. This is gonna be a solid optic. What I would say is that if you have an issue with red dots, with Eotechs, because of an astigmatism or any kind of eye issue, I think this is probably one of the best options out there for you for an optic. That being said, I'm gonna do some more testing on these things, and I'm also gonna do a side-to-side video comparison, SLX to GLX, so you can really see the differences between the two and which one you should get. Right now, I'm leaning towards get the GLX. If budget is an issue, if you can't spend that extra $50, or maybe you need that lighter weight setup, the SLX does work, and it's a pretty good optic. Like I really liked it. So both have great eye relief. You're not gonna go wrong with either, but stay tuned for more videos.